Mr. Speaker, the threat of cyber warfare cannot be overstated. Cyber attacks target everything from classified government information to business and trade secrets to individual financial records. The motivation for these attacks can range from immature harassment to illicit financial gain. The scope can be similarly broad, from an individual computer or website to an entire network. Investing in cybersecurity is the Manhattan Project of our generation. The only difference is that when we were the only power, when we were doing the Manhattan Project, we were the only power with the technology. This time around, we are facing far more enemies that have the same level of technology that we do. In fact, nearly every high school hacker has the potential to threaten our unfettered use of the Internet. Just imagine what a rogue state committed to disrupting our cyber infrastructure could do. The National Institute of Standards and Technology is responsible for setting cybersecurity standards for non-classified federal networks. The bill tasks NIST with developing cybersecurity awareness programs to educate individuals, small businesses, state and local governments, and educational institutions on how to implement cyber best practices. It is estimated that 80 to 90% of all cyber breaches could have been avoided with the type of cybersecurity training. The legislation also directs NIST to conduct research related to improving the security of information and network systems that support so many aspects of our day-to-day life, which many of us take for granted. The most troubling cyber threat may be the very real prospect of state-sponsored cyber attacks against sensitive national security information. Cyber experts believe China is effectively targeting our government networks and that these attacks have resulted in at least one breach of Lockheed Martin's F-35 Joint Strike Fighter development program. It is estimated that the federal government alone needs to recruit between 500 and 1,000 more cybersecurity professionals each year in order to address these threats. The Upstate New York district that I represent is on the front line of defending our nation in the cyber war in which we are engaged. Utica College offers a Bachelor of Science degree in cybersecurity. Graduates of this program are employed across the country working to secure the networks of government and private business alike. However, this program currently only graduates about 50 students per year into the cybersecurity field. Clearly, simply maintaining the status quo will not be enough. Media reports of new attacks by cyber criminals are becoming more frequent and alarming. Just last week, following the State of the Union address, hackers suspected to be from Brazil defaced 49 House member websites. Each day, 400,000 new zombies are activated. These are computers that are taken over by hackers and can be remotely controlled without the owner knowing it. 1.5 million new malicious websites are identified each month. There are more than 1 billion new endpoints added to the Internet. 50% of those will be in China and 35% will be in India. We are locked in a technological arms race with our cyber competitors. In order to win that race, we must train individuals to look at warfare from an entirely new perspective. This effort goes to the heart of our national security because it requires us to create opportunities in our colleges and universities to train this new type of warfighter to defend our nation from cyber threats. A warfighter every bit as important to our security as a traditional armed soldier in the field. The training for this new generation of warfighters that defend us, not from land, sea, or air attacks, but from cyber attacks, is every bit as important as boot camp is for our soldiers. In fact, that is what this bill does, creates a boot camp for our future cyber warfighters. H.R. 4061 sets the course by authorizing funding for a Scholarship for Service program through the National Science Foundation that will provide scholarship for students pursuing cybersecurity fields. The scholarships would be provided for from 1 to 2 years for students pursuing bachelor's or master's degree and up to 3 years for students pursuing a doctoral degree in cybersecurity field, provided that the recipient serves as cybersecurity professional in the government agencies for an equal amount of time. This investment in cyber education is necessary to meet our enemies on the cyber front lines and repel their attacks. Through increased workforce development and continued strengthening of our public-private partnerships, we can and will ensure that the IT systems on which so much of our way of life depends are safe from cyber attack. The Cybersecurity Enhancement Act contains the strategic plan necessary to focus our resources to meet these challenges. Thank you, and I reserve the balance of my time.
Gentlemen.